Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
Good morning. Welcome to Cowboys StoryLine, and we're going to talk about Cowboys and Texans. Houston 34, Dallas 10. Doesn't matter if the game felt closer than that. It wasn't. Cowboys hung in there for a little bit, but just like we've seen 2 weeks in a row, you play 4 quarters, you keep going, you keep leaning on the other team, keeps leaning on you. Next thing you know, it's a blowout. And that's what happened again as the Cowboys fall to 3-7 on the season. They're 0-5 now at AT&T Stadium. Not good. Not good. Last time they lost 5 straight games at home to open the season was 1989. Would like to think we could compare those two teams, but it is what it is. And it's bad right now, obviously, for the Cowboys. Let's talk about it. 888-855-2297. Cowboys with Cooper Rush. He plays the whole game. Had some moments there in the third quarter, fourth quarter. I didn't realize. I just seeing some highlights. I didn't realize that pass was actually going to Mingo on 4th and 2, which I thought was a huge play in the game. I disagreed with it before the snap, disagreed with it during the snap, and of course afterwards. You already took points off the board. You've got to get the points back. You have to put the points back. I hated the 4th and 2 call down there. You just don't have the pieces that can make those type of plays, in my opinion. Your quarterback is not a athletic. Improvising quarterback. You have no running game, so you know you're not going to run it down there. They know you're not going to run it down there. And like I said, you took points off the board knowing, let's go try to get a touchdown, but if not, we're going to get closer. We're going to make another field goal. When you got to 4th and 2, I just think there's no way. You had to get that field goal there. You had to go down 7. Would it have mattered? No, probably not. But my point, and I wrote this in my article on DallasCowboys.com that you have no margin for error, so you can't make any, and the coaches can't make any, the players can't make any, but you have to make this game as close as you can for as long as you can. Just keep it close, and then try to steal one at the end. And I get trying to score a touchdown makes it closer, but the odds of scoring right there just didn't seem good. All right. Let's go. We got the phone lines are open right now. Let's go to Zach in Atlanta, though, to start us off. Zach, what's up?
Morning, Nick. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. This season is just a big pile of sheet metal, hot, steaming sheet metal. I'm glad that I told Beam, hey, man, glad he didn't get crushed by that thing. Glad. Sounds like everybody made it out okay from the debris, but it's kind of wild and a microcosm of the season, man. You try to do something right, try to boost morale and open up the roof, and it just doesn't go the Cowboys' way. So I don't have a lot to say. Just sad seeing Zach Martin get up off the turf, and he's given this franchise everything and played at a high level. You start to think about all the other guys who have played well for us and haven't sniffed an NFC Championship game or Super Bowl, any of that. So it's a tough day. I'm not surprised by the outcome, but again, here's the roller coaster. It's a low point, and it's a short week, quick turnaround. Let's get it on Sunday. And try to have some little wins. I like seeing Flournoy get in the mix. I like seeing, Micah is Weapon X. I mean, defense didn't have a great game, but he's disruptive and, just trying to celebrate the little things. Yeah. But it is what it is, man. Appreciate you and Beam doing what y'all do, and I'll hang up and listen. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Obviously, you catch the reference to start the game. Could have been a scary scene. I was watching it. I actually was watching the whole thing happen. I was sitting there in my seat, and looking up to see, the roof's open. It's only been open for 10 minutes or so. And next thing I know, I see something kind of falling, but not quickly, just kind of floating along. And I certainly did not think it was a piece of metal because just the way it was just kind of taking its time to get down. You knew it was some kind of debris, but wasn't sure what that was. And then I kind of watched it go to the ground and fortunately didn't hit anybody. Add that to the list, and it's a growing list, and we're not done yet. But it's, when you think you've seen it all, I guess it's a good reminder that you haven't. But some of these things, that are happening every game, it's been something. It's somewhat out of the ordinary, and it's just like you couldn't make it up if you tried. So as for the game parts that he mentioned, this is a young players. This is a time to evaluate some young guys, but they're not doing it necessarily because they just want to. It's some of this is out of necessity. Like I think we had some callers that say they wanted to see a Flanoy, and they had seen enough of Jalen Brooks or just enough to say, all right, we know what he is. And so they, and the Cowboys actually did the same thing. They decided to go with Flanoy. He played a lot in the game. He started, actually, looking at the starting lineup, he started his first game, and then they played Mingo some. He got a couple of targets, sort of. There's a couple of passes that weren't really close to him. And Cooper Rush, that was his kind of night. I mean, he threw the ball a ton. I mean, I was shocked to see that he threw it 55 times, 354 yards, but not that effective. And there's too many times the pass was either low, high, behind him, just wasn't accurate at all. Let's go to John in Delaware. Next caller. John.
How you doing, Nick?
How are you?
I've been doing better. I talked to you last week. It was my first time calling last week. I just figured we ripped the Band-Aid off. They just play the young players, see what we got, evaluate. I mean, I told my friends that last day I was going to watch some of the game. I'm a fan. I watched the entire game. I'm ready for a complete rebuild. We have some players. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep Micah Parsons because, we might need him for picks. But what do you think?
I keep Micah Parsons. That's what I think. I think you keep him on the team because I think he is a really good disruptive player. And if they are making any kind of changes, which we'll see. I mean, some of these coaches are on one-year deals. If they're making a new change on defense, I have a defense that's built around what he can do. I think this team. I think he's a 3-4 scheme player, and I think he's dynamic enough where you could build around him. And so I try to find some pieces that can be a 3-4 guy, a 3-4 scheme. I don't love the idea of trading him because even with the picks, it takes luck to actually pick the right guys that are difference makers. And the Cowboys got lucky that most of the teams did not really do their homework on Micah Parsons as a pass rusher. And I'm not sure the Cowboys did either. I'm not sure the Cowboys knew he was that. Let's be honest about it. They didn't, because they wouldn't have traded out of that pick. They were thinking corners. They wanted to get those two corners. They weren't trying to trade from, and try to draft Micah Parsons. It was between Micah Parsons and the offensive lineman that went to the Chargers from Northwestern. I forgot his name, actually. But those two guys were the ones that they were picking. If teams knew that Micah Parsons could rush the passer the way he has done, he would have been probably the second pick in the draft. Maybe second. I still think Trevor Lawrence goes, but second or third. So what my point is trading him to get picks. You don't know if you're going to get another dynamic play. You don't know that. And I know I see some upside in that. You don't have to trade. You don't have to sign him. But I think I would look to build around him with the defense, in the future. That's the way I would go there. All right, next caller, Sebastian. that right? Sebastian. Hello.
How we doing there, sir? Good morning.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. You know, I'm sitting there watching Monday, and I just had to chuckle, man. I said, dang, now the team and the stadium are falling apart. But it's just a blessing that happened on a Monday and not on Friday, because there were, in fact, people sitting there Friday. So, you know, just as a microcosm for the season as a whole, small pieces just keep falling off. Nobody expected coming into the season that Zach Martin would take such a drastic step back this year. Didn't expect to lose your quarterback or have these deals play out the way that they did. But I keep hearing this word blowout tossed around, and I don't think that's fair to the defense. I think the defense yesterday did the absolute best that they could with what they had, right? And they kept you in that game.
Yeah.
The offense came out and laid an egg. You know, so it is kind of unfair to the defense to see the 17 points. Can you hear me?
And special teams.
And yeah, man.
Special teams failed you again.
Yeah. So surprisingly, very surprisingly. Now, I wouldn't put it on exactly 9 Turpin. Turpin actually did a decent job, but the penalties and stuff like that, it's just everything that we've been plagued with all season just keeps coming back again and again and again. But it wasn't like the offensive line didn't hold up yesterday. Even with Zach, you know, struggling and still giving up a sack or two, we didn't have a horrible game from the offensive line. It was just there was poor play calling, there was poor quarterback play, and I don't think that Ford would have done any better. I don't think Dak would have done any better in the situation that he was given. There's just something wrong with the offense as a whole. Has been that way this whole season. But I'm going to hang up, listen to what you guys have to say. Just wanted to call and say, hey, man, Rome is burning, but we're all doing just fine today. You guys have a great day, and all the fans out there that keep calling in, those are the true blues, because we're going to keep calling you Mr. Eatman. We love the show. We love you giving us a voice and an outlet, and you guys have a great day.
All right. Appreciate it. I'm not so sure about that, Sebastian. I mean, the lines are open right now. Usually after a Monday, it's tough to get in. That's not necessarily maybe the case right now. I think everyone's tired, everyone's frustrated about the game and about where this team is headed, and I don't blame them. It is a frustrating game. I disagree with the part about I don't think Dak would have done better. I mean, I do think he would have done better than that. He's a more accurate quarterback than what Cooper Rush showed in the game. It gives you a little bit more options too in the pocket, but he hasn't done a lot better. I mean, I do think he's a better quarterback, but I mean, he hasn't done a lot better than what we've seen there. But just a frustrating time right now because you're right. The defense did play well. The defense played a good game. They were getting some sacks. They were getting some turnovers. It's going into the fourth quarter. It's 20-10. 20-10, and the Cowboys had missed a chip shot field goal in the second quarter. They squandered an opportunity to score. They had another field goal as well, and that got taken off the board, and then they didn't elect to get one in the third quarter. So then it's, they've got the football down 20-10, and you're thinking, man, it should be 20-16 at least, or 20-13. But 2016, 2013. And it's 20-10, and you're playing different. You're having to rush. You're having to force things. You get a sack. Tyler Guyton's trying to pick it up and roll with it. Actually, he didn't pick it up. He caught it in midair, and then he fumbles, and it's a touchdown the other way, and the Cowboys lose. More points and more ground, and it's 27-10, and then that's pretty much the end of it. And that's kind of the same thing that happened against Philly as well. All right. We're going to break here on Cowboys Storyline. Our first one. We'll be right back to answer more calls and questions.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all Cowboys content, such as interviews, weekly TV shows, podcasts, docuseries, and much more. Download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Back here on Cowboys Storyline, we are dissecting the Cowboys' loss to the Texans 34-10. Doesn't seem to be closer than that, but it wasn't. You know, at the end of the day, into the game, into the four quarters, it is what it is, and the Cowboys. It's just a situation of a team that's just, you know, you're struggling. It's an uphill battle. You're fighting, but you're just not good enough. You're not good enough on offense. You're not good enough on defense, and you're not good enough on the special teams. And that's you lose all of those battles. Then that's kind of what happens. And yeah, the defense played well. Houston's defense played better. You know, they kept them out of the end zone. They scored touchdown. They played much better. The Cowboys, you know, I mean, I think they were fortunate with the penalties. Actually, kind of went their way. There were some calls Houston was making, or the refs were making there against Houston that kind of kept the Cowboys in it for a while. Don't forget, it could have been 7-0 right off the bat, first play of the game. They called it, an ineligible player downfield, which I thought was questionable at that. So I thought the penalties actually were helping the Cowboys a little bit there. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Sal in California. Sal, what's up?
How you doing, Nick?
Good. How are
you? Good. Just wanted to say, like, this is the worst the Dallas offense has looked in a long time, and just trending now, like, the season keeps going as it is. We'll probably have a top, 10, 5 pick maybe. Would you think they would be able to trade Dak's contract and start with a younger quarterback? Like, maybe get the Sanders boys to Dallas or something? I'll listen. Thank you for the time.
Man, trading. Thanks for the call. Trading Dak this early into his contract doesn't seem likely at all. You got to remember all the guaranteed money that hits the cap immediately. So I haven't looked at that, but it would be a lot. Is not. You don't do that. Not that early into a deal. There's just too much money that would come forward and hit the cap immediately. So I don't think that would be. First of all, I don't think the Cowboys will do that. I don't know if another team's going to want to do that too. I mean, think about what you're going to get for it. He's coming off surgery. He was there on the field with the crutches and all that. So, that's just not the answer right now. It's not. I mean, they signed him. He's the guy. He's the guy for a while. And so, yeah, I don't think that would be a situation, because I just don't see you'd have a buyer that would be worth it to give you enough of the compensation for what you're going to have to eat, financially there. So, I think he's the guy. You got to get him healthy, get him back going, get him some pieces around him, give him a running game, offensive line better, and all that stuff. John in California as well. John.
Good morning, Nick. Pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. How are you?
Hi. Beautiful day. Day.
Where are you at again?
La Mirada. It's
La Mirada.
Nearby Disneyland, little suburbs out there.
Sounds good. Sounds like Shangri-La. I like it. La Mirada. All right, John. What do you got, man? First time caller?
Hey, first timer, Nick.
Bingo! All right.
All right. I just wondered if you could give me an update on some of the injury status, like Nealand, If Bland's going to, play it all this year,
I think we can.
Any of the younger guys.
I think he's going to finally play. Go ahead.
Is he going to finally play?
I think Deron Bland is finally going to play. I really do. But I've said that before. So, but I do think this week. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's definitely past time. Well, in my opinion, to play all these young guys. Everyone says, "See what you got." We know what Cooper Rush got. Kind of what Ferguson is. Maybe. Get Schoonmaker in there. Find out if this is someone we're gonna hold on to.
Yeah. All right. Well,
defensively as well. All the younger guys that haven't seen a whole lot of playing time. That you always get those progress stopping. Hooker. Could we get some of the young safeties in there? Is Bell okay? I don't know. I didn't hear what happened last night.
Yeah, he did get hurt, and he did not return in the game. There were so many injuries, honestly. I can't even recall what Bell's injury was. I know he got hurt and banged up, did not come back. And Bell and Wanye Thomas are two guys that I know that you could say, hey, get some young guys in, see what they can do. Ironically, Hooker and Donovan Wilson, I think, played their best game of the season, both of them, last night. Were around the ball a lot, making some plays. So, but I get your point. You're not wrong there. But a lot of these young guys are playing because they're playing, not because they're trying to see for the future. It's like they have to, That's part of it.
Yes. Right, but is Hooker on his last year on his deal? I mean,
no. He signed an extension.
Got one more.
He signed an extension last year.
For two.
I want to say it was
2 years or something like that.
It was 3. Again,
2 or 3.
You guys are getting me on the Tuesday morning contracts here. They signed him to an extension. I don't know I don't think he'd be out just yet, but I can research that.
How about Nealon? Do we know any kind of a progress?
Getting close with him.
Getting close.
Jerry Jones said after the game that he expects 4 to 5 players coming back, and a lot of them on defense. That makes me think Bland, Nealon, and Jordan Lewis probably. Tank, I don't think is ready yet, and I do think Brandon Cooks at receiver is also going to come back this week. Those are the 4 guys I think you could come back from injury this week that have been out for a little bit. Now you got to remember, you got to put them back on the team. So which is fine. There's a lot of players on this team right now that could go back to the practice squad or cut or whatever. I don't think that's going to be a problem getting Brandon Cooks, Nealon, and Bland on the roster right now. So Bland is on the roster, actually. Bland is on the roster, but you got to get Nealon and Cooks back on.
Yeah, you just got to see how they all play together, cohesion with these units and some of these young guys who are, haven't got a whole lot of playing time. Who I agree. I think Donovan Wilson played his best game, and and Hooker played a really nice game. But are they the future? And I don't feel like the season's lost. I think there's still a lot of things you can get out of it by seeing what these guys are capable of, playing with a capable defense.
I think people would disagree with you on the part about lost, but no, but I think it's one of those things of you're sitting on the side of the road. Are you lost? No, I know where I am. Where are you going? Nowhere.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere. I know where I am. I'm not lost. And I think what you're saying is there's some things you can still get from this, but the ultimate goal of what where the season was and where you're like, hey, let's get to the playoffs, let's do this and that. That doesn't look like that's happening at all. So now it's the little victories that you're trying to see. You're trying to see Turpin as a wide receiver. You're trying to see Flanoy.
Yes.
You're trying to see some things like that.
Yes.
I love the fact that Turpin, when he caught that ball from our view in the press box, that you're like, he's not getting caught. You're like, wow. You just love to see that kind of stuff. And did I see that correctly? You guys probably saw it too. The fastest player in the last 3 years, like clocked miles per hour. It was like the fastest that any player in the NFL has run in the last 2 or 3 years. Pretty impressive, but he's one of those guys. You got to get him out there. You got to get him going. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened a whole lot.
it's not part of the frustrating thing though with the season, like wanting to see Turpin to get like those one-on-one matchups out of the slot where he has a little bit of room, and if you put the ball on him quick, what can he do?
Sure. Yeah, that is frustrating. It is frustrating, but let's be honest. He hasn't caught every pass thrown his way.
Absolutely.
He's part of that as well. He's got to catch the ball, but that kind of route, that kind of play, got to get him open, get him moving like that. Boy, it was good to see. All right, John, appreciate the call. Thank you. It was good to hear from you. Chris Beam in the back, like he always does, was researching for us. He said Malik Hooker his contract goes through the 2026 season, so he's got 2 more years after this. Donovan Wilson's goes 1 year after this through 2025. All right, let's go to Rob in Vegas.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, Rob?
How you been?
Good, man. Haven't heard from you in a little bit. You all right?
I'm good. Listen, what I want to talk about, you don't want to talk about, and I get it. It's
no.
So
you can talk about it. You can talk about it.
No, it's not the same. I want I want to have a real conversation, and
we're getting there. We're getting there, Rob.
We're not getting there. We're there, but
we're getting there so we can talk about it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday was like Philadelphia. The defense hung in. I thought Micah looked like Micah. His ankle looks back.
Yeah.
He looked good. Overshown looked good. Unfortunately, he's a terrible tackler. He just comes in too fast, and he always goes for the ankles. He missed a couple of sacks again. But those are the bright spots. I mean, the guy I'm disappointed on defense is Diggs. I thought he would be a better tackler under Zimmer, and he's regressed. And he's just not the same player, and I know the rumor has it that he may be up for trade. And I could see that, especially with Bland needing a contract. But then again, who knows what he's going to be. It was a shame to see Zach Martin. It's like it came in overnight, and like I said, when you start talking about retirement, you're kind of retired.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching. What is with the fake punt now from your own 25 throwing? I mean, who's? I know Bones is calling it, but how is Mike McCarthy allowing that? That the game just started. You didn't need to do anything like that. You want to do it over the 50? I could see it. I agree with you with the play calling on that 4th and 2. You don't roll Cooper Rush out.
No.
You just took half the field away.
Exactly.
We were talking on StoryLine. I think it was Sergeant Sue. I'm not positive, but he says, it's a shame we traded for 2 4th-round picks, and either guy has done nothing. He's just Mingo and Trey Lance. And Trey Lance should be playing. I don't trying to win, yes, but Trey Lance at least gives you a different dimension. I would like to see him play because they're both free agents.
Yeah, I agree.
At the end of the year. So, I would do it like they do in college, alternate quarters, alternate games, whatever. But it was just, listen, they kept showing Jerry, and you could just see his face. And I think he's going to do something, fire somebody, just because I don't think he could, like I said, sell this product for all these next week, especially Thanksgiving coming. You talk about a barn burner, Tommy DeVito versus Cooper Rush. But my thing is, I think he's going to do something. He's going to either fire McCarthy or he's going to take the play. Just something so the fans, because there are fans out there that still think, we got a chance.
Yeah.
And we don't. Now it's time to develop. Flournoy, he kind of reminds me of Des Bryant, the way he's built. I don't know why they don't get him in the game. He seems like a guy that
he started.
Break tackle.
He started, Rob. I mean, he started the game.
No. I know he started yesterday, but play this kid. This kid looks like he has something. He's got the build. He's physical. Give it a shot. I know what I'm going to get with Tolbert. He's not. I don't think he's a second. a second wide receiver. CD plays hard, and then you could see at the end when Cooper Rush missed him a few times, you could just see CD like, okay, enough. I think this is what you'll see going forward. The team will play hard for, especially the defense, for at least a half. And if the offense doesn't give them anything to hang their hat on, I think this is what you'll see. They'll get
the bottom drops
worn
out.
down. But
yeah, okay.
Hey, we got a few more weeks of this, and then, like you said, we'll start having really fun conversations.
Yeah. All right, Rob. Thanks for calling. Good hearing from you. As always, he's our captain of the storyline. And if he's not the captain, then our next guy probably is as well. Dylan, Northport, Florida. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Always happy following up, Rob. Actually, I agree with everything Rob said today. So, hey, good stuff. We've been chatting a lot on Twitter.
I agreed with everything he said except for Overshown being a terrible tackler.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a good tackler. I do think that young players, and again, first season of him playing football, young players have to realize that, he's like 4 seasons removed from high school. So they have to realize that just hitting a player doesn't knock them down, doesn't, you have to wrap up in this league and your strength isn't as strong as you think and all that. He's pretty good as a tackler. He still has things to learn. But I agreed with most of the other things Rob said. We'll see what you've got.
Yeah, we were messaging on Twitter last night. I'm in a group with him and some other people, and he mentioned that too. And, Overshown is, I think, a great tackler. I just think when he goes and somebody's standing still, it's so easy to just sidestep, right? And he comes in 1,000 miles an hour. He just needs to slow down and just secure the sack. And that was a potential game-changing sack if he made that last night late in the game. Not that we would have done anything anyways. Who knows? But, he just needs to slow down. As far as Malik Hooker and moving on from guys that are under contract, Malik Hooker, there's an out next year. It's like a $4 million dead cap hit if they do move on from him. But I'll say this about moving on from guys. You got a lot of holes to fill, and I'd be careful moving on from guys that have contracts already, because that just means you got to draft somebody or sign somebody else. And, I think Hooker and Wilson and those guys, I don't know if Wilson will be here or not, but I think those guys can be better. We've seen them be better, but you got to get the pass rush going, and you got to get the run game, or stopping the run game, going on defense, and you'll see them hopefully play better.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dak. I don't see him going anywhere. I mean, you just signed the guy. He can't eat all that money. Who's going to trade for him? He has no trade clause anyway, so that's not going to happen. And listen, man, it's been kind of delightful. Man, I'll just say this and I'll hang up. It's been kind of delightful just sitting here and just laughing. It's almost been a comedy show, and it's been fun in kind of the wrong ways. But, we have a lot of group laughs in our little chat, and it's just kind of weird that it's like, okay, I'm enjoying Sundays almost more because I can just sit back and have a beer and just not worry about anything, So
I get it. It's not a fun place to be, but it's a lot more relaxing, stress-free, I guess, because it just comes down to your expectations aren't there. They're not there. So now you're rooting for other things. You're always rooting for a win, but you see some silver linings in plays and players and things like that. And it's not what you want to do as a fan, but as Jerry said last night, he just said, you do this long enough, you're gonna have some times like this, and I think if you heard it, it would make more sense than as opposed to he's not saying like, hey, it is what it is. He's just, he's really disappointed. I mean, you could see it on his face. He's very disappointed about everything that's happened in this season, but he's as he said, I'm a big boy, I can handle it, but it's not sitting well with him, of course.
Yeah,
right.
And the people that kind of come after Jerry and not wanting to win, I think that's a load of crap. I think he wants to win more than anything in the world, and I defend Jerry probably more than I should at times. But you can see he's gutted about this season, man, and maybe he doesn't manage the team the best way according to everybody's point of view. But man, he's not enjoying this any more, any less than we are. No. It sucks for all of us.
Yeah. All right, Dylan.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks for calling in. Let's go to Ali in Florida. Ali, you there?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good, buddy. How about you?
Good. What's up?
First of all, I just want to tell you, I don't know how you do it after the loss. It's got to be so hard on you and Chris with these upset fans, you know.
You know what, Ali, I'm going to say to that, like we're fine. I'm going to speak for Chris on this. We're fine. We've done this for a long time. We've had seasons worse than this, and and expectations higher than this year's and lower than this. It happens. But you know what? I'll speak for myself on this. I enjoy talking to you guys because I understand what it's like to be a fan. I appreciate the ones that call in and are ready to talk about next year. Even though we're not there yet, I get it because you're like, it's like, let me fix it. Let's fix it. How do I fix it? That's what happens. If something happens at the house, you're like, what do we got to do? Do I need to call it? Can I fix it? Do I need to call Chris to come over and help me fix it? All this kind of stuff. But you want to fix it, and I get it, and I understand that. So, anyways, thank you for saying that, but I think we're fine. We'll be all right. We'll turn this around, but it is fun to still talk to you guys.
Okay, so, I got a top 5 list not to do on the storyline. I'll make it very quick. Number 1, be nice after the loss to Nick and Chris. Number 2, don't tell the fan how to be a fan. Number 3, don't ask Nick about other players or coaches how to trade during the season. Number 4, don't take too long. And number 5, make sure your lawnmower is off. No lawnmower noise behind, so Nick get upset.
You know what's funny about that? You're talking about a training camp. The lawnmower noise sounds worse for me than it does for you guys. Just the way it is in our headset, it sounds like he's right behind me, like I'm getting grass on me, like he's weed eating right next to me. But but you know what about that? The Cowboys were 0-0. A lot of hope, a lot of excitement, a lot less injuries, a lot of guys walking around and not as many crutches. So I'll take that. I'll take the lawnmower and the training camp excitement again. Now,
I have one question for you. If you had a choice to use your Thanksgiving with one of the storyliners, who would that be? I know who I would say.
Who?
I think we should invite Rob and some of the storyline, whoever likes to go. We all go to Randy's house.
Randy.
Texarkana.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I bet you it would be so much fun.
I was going to say Randy because I don't have to go too far. I could go see my mom and then go see Randy, and but I haven't had a Thanksgiving with my family on Thanksgiving since 1996. And so, but Thanksgiving is what it is. We'll have it 2 days later. The turkey will taste the same, and it'll be awesome. So I love Thanksgiving. It's one of my it is my favorite holiday.
Me too.
I love the fact that we get to
be there for the game. All right. I want to make sure your family and Chris's family are healthy and have the best Thanksgiving, buddy. We love you.
You too.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Ali. Appreciate that. Good stuff. As always, really appreciate the love there. Let's go to break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. We have another caller holding. We'll be right back here to answer the calls.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at the dance camps on December 27th. You can learn from former NFL players at the football camps on December 23rd and December 27th. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at dallascowboys.com/camps. All right, back to the phone line. Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Robbie, what's up?
I am wonderful. How about yourself, Nick?
Not wonderful. But I'm okay. I'm doing okay, but I'm wonderful. I don't know about wonderful. I'm tired.
Short, man. I every day. You got 4 beautiful kids, a great wife, a good job that you love. Life's awesome.
I'm wonderful. You're right. You're right, Robbie. I'm wonderful. Doing wonderful. The team is not wonderful. The team that we watch and cover, they're a little far away from wonderful, but it's all right, though. Robbie, you always put it in perspective. I appreciate that.
Hey, man, what are we going to do? I love my team. Don't get me wrong. We always talk about not telling somebody how to fan. I love my team, and I live and die, man. There have been many nights that I've damn near cried myself to sleep after watching the game, and some nights that I can't sleep after close, and then we came back and won, you know? So,
you know what's funny, Robbie?
What's that, man?
This team beat Pittsburgh.
I know. And Pittsburgh's playing lights out, beating everybody.
That's just, I mean, and I know that the Cowboys aren't the same, but weird. It's just a weird league. You expect it to kind of turn back around, but it hasn't yet. Maybe it will against Washington. I mean, they practiced against this team for like 4 years, with Dan Quinn and the defensive guys over there. So, yeah, it's a short week, but, they should know what to expect. We'll see.
All right, speaking of defense, you touched on it today about Micah Parsons at a 3-4. I think about a month and a half ago or a month ago, I called and said, is there any way we can get to a 3-4 next year? I remember when Parcells came in and changed us to a 3-4. I was so set against it. And then seeing guys like Marcus Ware, who had that bend around the edge, speed around the edge. I'm not comparing Micah to Ware yet. But there are some similarities, and I would like to see Micah Parsons, who's one of the best, if not the best, defensive player in the NFL, get every opportunity to showcase his ability to build around him. Put him as a DN or a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Yeah.
So what do we need? We need a big greasy in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe Mozzie and Colston on the outside.
Yeah, I think Golston's good there for the defensive end position. Even though he should be a free agent, actually, this is his 4th year, so he'll be an unrestricted free agent. But I think that type of guy, defensive tackle /end. But yeah, linebacker wise, I mean,
we got Damone Clark. Maybe he can play middle linebacker because a little middle linebacker in a 3-4 is a lot different.
I don't know. He isn't playing at all right now, so I don't see him in the future. But I mean, it's an overhaul. I mean, you have to. It's not easy. It's not an easy transition to do that. You got to use free agency in the draft, and you need help on offense too. So I don't know if they can do that in 1 year.
You're right.
Say it again.
Which was supposed to be our strength this year, offense.
Supposed to be, yeah, but your offensive line wasn't good. I mean, your offensive line, the rookies that you played did not take the step that you wanted. You're hoping.
I don't know. I can't agree with that, Nick. Cooper Beebe has looked strong, man. I mean, him and Tyler Smith probably our best linemen.
Yeah, right. That's my point. You've made my point. They are the best linemen. They're not supposed to be. It was supposed to be Zach Martin, supposed to be Terrence Steele. And you're hoping that Tyler Guyton made more of a leap. And I think Cooper Beebe has had a really good season for a rookie. I don't think he's a huge difference maker, but he's playing well. Okay, he's playing well. Let's not give him that. The problem is that he was supposed to be your fifth best lineman, and he's not.
True.
So, and this just wasn't the year you thought Zach Martin would just drop off like that. And you could see when he walked off the field yesterday, you could see how frustrated he was. It was almost like he knew. And that,
yeah, I agree.
And I hope that's not the case. God, I hope that's not the last time we see him walk off the field. That would be a shame. But
hey, man.
We'll see. All right,
but
man.
lastly, I'll say send out my love to you guys and thank you and Beam for everything you do, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Robbie. Always good. Let's go to Ronnie in New Jersey.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, Ronnie?
How you been?
Good. You? What's up?
Not much. I was listening to the guys talking. I heard Rob and I heard from Florida.
Dylan.
His name? Dylan. Yeah, I heard Dylan. There was something Dylan said that kind of hit me when he was saying that, at least now we're watching the games without the expectations, because I still get frustrated. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
I want to see them play well, but I'm also rooting for that draft pick. At the point where the team is at, man, we're bad. So I think we need, I want the highest pick possible just so you can trade back and get extra picks. That's where I'm at. And this team needs a good amount of players to rebuild for the next 2 seasons. So I'm kind of at that point where, expectations are that we're not going to do that well, but it kind of still, I still want to see them play well. I want to see the young guys play well, at least develop. And I don't think this coaching staff is giving them that option where when does the special teams coach get to call the timeouts? They even mentioned that in the broadcast. Like, why is this guy calling the timeouts? That's a head coach thing, no?
Yeah.
But thanks for listening to
right.
me, Nick, and I'll talk to you next time. I appreciate your
Appreciate
time.
it. Yeah, he gives a lot of leeway there for John Fossil. He's been around a long time. He's actually been an interim head coach once in his career with the Rams, I believe. So yeah, he's had some, he has opportunities to make some of those calls, especially calls for the fakes. I mean, he's the one kind of throwing it out there. Mike has to sign off on it, but I think we're done with the Brian Anger throwing the ball. I mean, I would be. And if we're gonna throw the ball on fake punts, throw it to an offensive player. Don't throw it to C.J. Goodwin or Wanye Thomas. Wanye made the catch, but I mean, throw it to players that have the ball in their hands and they've had it in their career and they can maybe break a tackle or they can catch the ball in space and do something with it if you're going to do that. But I don't know. I thought that was a desperate play. It's always a situation when you start doing that, you've lost. I mean, for the most part. All right, last caller here is going to be Travis in San Antonio. Travis, what's up?
Nick, Chris, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing good.
I'm good. I think Chris is good.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him.
I told him, I said, hopefully looking forward, he gets to look forward to you guys some, Thanksgiving and whatnot coming up and some more time. I know he's going to be busy for that too, but hopefully he gets a little bit of break here and there. Cut my guy some slack, Nick.
He's great. I mean, I love Chris. I'm saying I haven't talked to him today, but I think he's doing good back there. But yeah, this is two of 7 or so for him on shows. So
right, yeah. So I know it's at the end of the show. I just wanted to touch on something because I've been championing it for like 4 or 5 weeks now in our chats with StoryLine, and I think I heard the call with Robbie about the 3-4, and I think this is actually an easier, because to your point, Nick, it can be difficult other years when you have guys that are already locked into contracts and stuff.
Right.
But I think it's actually an easier transition this time because without Osa being signed, if you go to a 3-4, he's not really a fit, and you can let him walk, right? You can get a comp pick for him. He's going to get signed by somebody else, and, all the best to him.
Mm-hmm.
D-Law is probably his last year. He doesn't fit in a 3-4. Yes, you're going to have to, in the free agency, to your point, you're going to have to go find some 5-techs, but honestly, it kind of fits the Cowboys' strategy, Nick, because those 5-techs in free agency, Adam got this for just a name to throw out there who played in it with DeMarcus Ware in Denver as a free agent now. Like, there are guys in free agency at 5-techs that aren't going to command big money that you can plug in. And then also in the draft, it kind of fits their draft strategy too, if you think about it, because they can take some 5-techs later in the draft because those aren't going to be high pick guys. And then, like I said, I think the best thing for if you're going to spend that kind of capital, which I'm not on trade Micah, I'm not on that either. I think you need to keep him and maximize him. But if you're going to maximize him, you need to get him away from the offensive tackles and taking that pounding all day. If you can get him in a stand-up in a 3-4, I think you maximize what he can do. And then I think it's the end for Clark just because his neck injury, he's never been the same since LSU. I think you can draft a guy to plug in there or find another guy to play next to Maris next year because I think he's going to be your green dot. And then the last bit of this, and I'll let you go, is I really want to see Overshown opposite Parsons in that 3-4 because I think his ability to flatten the edge and close is the only person I've seen that rivals Parsons. And I think those two on the edges like that, hunting quarterbacks, would be pretty dynamic on defense. So just want to see what you thought on that. Hope you guys have a great holiday week and enjoy it. And all the best to you guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the call, Travis. And it's funny. I don't know if you can see my paper. I probably won't have you zoom in, but I don't know why I wrote this. So I hit Parsons, then I put 3 spaces, and then I have Overshown and Sam Williams over to the right over here as pass rushers. So I have 3 spaces, though, for your, like you said, your 5 techniques, your defensive ends, and then your nose tackle. I don't know who those guys are going to be, but I have Parsons over here, Overshown and Sam Williams over here. And yeah, you got space, you got, room to grow there. And you got to have a coach that can do it. Again, we're down the road a little bit there, but those are some of the things I think I agree with you. You're going to keep Micah. You got to make sure you put him in the best spot. All right, guys, gone a little over time here today. Appreciate the callers. You guys did a great job coming through here. We will be back tomorrow to talk about it again on Cowboys Storyline. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you next time on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!